Hi there, today I wanted to demonstrate to you another use for Shallex's Stickit. This is a new product. It's designed to repair debonded or delaminated substrates. Two of those that you typically find around the home are tiles and render. Today I'd like to show you how we can use this product to repair larger format tiles or pavers. Now, I've showed in another video how you can use this product to drill through the grout lines and inject the adhesive around smaller tiles, typically floor tiles within the house. But when you've got a large format paver or tile, often it's more appropriate to inject through the tile so that you can get the adhesive to where it really needs to go. Just to give you a little bit of background, I've got a small tile here, and this is one that's actually come off. Now you can see that the adhesive has been spread using something like this, a notched trowel, and as the tile's pressed onto the ground, it actually compresses these ridges of tile adhesive, but there's often still little tracks or voids. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the adhesive to flow into these areas and rebond that tile. So if you're working with a smaller tile, something this size, it's obviously easy to come down through the grout lines. When you're working with a larger paver or tile, something like this, it's actually very difficult if you've got a problem in the middle. Now, we've actually found a situation here. Just using any metal object, you can actually rub it over the surface and you can hear that difference in tone. That paver, that's quite a high noise, that's quite a low noise. So what that indicates is the middle of this tile or paver is actually debonded. Now you could do nothing about that, you could leave it as it is for a period of time, but this is a driveway and there's a heavy vehicle travelling over this quite regularly. So if you don't do anything about fixing this particular problem, what eventually is going to happen is this will move and eventually it will crack. Now that's going to create a major problem, especially in an area like this. If you don't have a replacement tile or paver, you're going to live with a crack. If you do, the traditional way of resolving that is to take out the grout, take out the tile or paver, reapply the adhesive and then relay and regrout. It's quite a difficult process at times, because if you chip or crack this while you're getting it out, it really defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do in the first place. Now, to do that, you also need quite a bit of equipment. Typically, you'd need cold chisel or bolster. You might want an angle grinder to take all of the grout out before you get the tile out. You're going to need some tile adhesive and some grout. Really, you've got to organise quite a few things to tackle what is one reasonably small issue or one small job. Now I'm going to show you how you can use Shallex's Stickit to replace the need to actually take the tile out and fix it in situ where it is. So what the kit comes with is a 2mm solid carbide drill. This allows you to drill through pretty much anything. Now it's a twist drill. Obviously you can't use a hammer drill on a tile, you're going to crack it, but this is a specially designed carbide drill that will allow you to drill through pretty much anything. So just to give you an idea, a couple of different substrates. This is a typical ceramic tile. You can see how easily that drill has drilled through there. Now, what that does is it leaves you with a small hole which is quite obvious. Now, darker tiles are more difficult to disguise, but the hole is only 2mm in size, so it is actually quite a small tile, and I'll show you in a minute how easy it is to disguise that, especially in textured or pavers and tiles with different colours. But you could use something like a touch-up pen available from a lot of the auto shops to actually touch this up and make it near invisible by the time you've finished. So drilling through the tile in itself doesn't present a problem. But I also wanted to show you just how versatile the Stickit product is. Just a couple of other surfaces that we can drill through. This is a standard clay paver. You can see how easily the drill drills through this, and probably the hardest surface that you're going to get, a granite tile. There you go. So the drill is basically going to drill through pretty much anything if you really need to. So getting back to our problem over here, I've actually already treated two areas. Probably a bit difficult for you to see, but there's two very small holes here. I actually drilled holes and injected the liquid into those yesterday. I'm going to do two more today. Now, when you're injecting Shellix Stickit, it's not necessary for you to flood the entire area underneath. In fact, you may find by spot treating a couple of areas is enough to rectify the problem, to rebond that. But I'll show you how simple that is. We drill a couple of holes. And wouldn't you know it, I'm out of juice. I should have checked that before I started. Now see how that shot through? That obviously means there's a void under there, and as I drilled through, it pushed through quite quickly. Okay, we're through on that one as well. Now, this drill hole dust, I normally will try and keep that. It's actually very useful for plugging the hole later on. It allows us to disguise that hole by putting the same coloured material back into that hole, and I'll show you how we do that in a minute. Now, the Stickit product, I've used this before, so that's why it's already assembled, but it comes with everything you need to do the job. So we just take off this little rubber storage grommet, and what we're going to do is twist the needle on. Now the needle is very sharp. You should keep the cover on whenever you're not using it. Now another piece of the kit is this small rubber plug. Now this small rubber plug can be used to increase the pressure that we're injecting under, and the way to do that is to very carefully push the needle through the end of this rubber plug, and once we're through there, it basically allows us to put more pressure into the injection. So we'll just pump this up a few times to get some pressure, and I'll put this into the hole and push down on the rubber plug, and by depressing the trigger, you can see I've got the trigger down there. That's injecting the liquid underneath. And as I take pressure off that rubber plug, the liquid starts to flow back out the hole. So I'll do the same through this one. Now it's a bit difficult to see what's going on underneath there. Sometimes you may have a very small void, sometimes you may have a large void. So the best approach is often to try a number of locations, and instead of trying to fill it full of liquid or adhesive in one hit, trying a couple of attempts. But I'll show you now what we do. Just using a rag, I'll take that off and put the cap back on, twist that off, and put the little rubber plug back on. Now that'll store in the shed or the cupboard for some time. It will last for a long time. I'll just grab a rag here. I've just got a damp rag. Now it's water-based and it dries clear. So if you do get a spot like I have done there, it's not a problem. It will wipe off. So I'm just going to wipe the surface. Now I'm not too sure whether you can see, but there's two little white dots there, which actually are the adhesive. Now this one's disappearing, which means the adhesive is still finding its way in underneath. But I'm going to take the dust from the drill hole and we'll just tap that back in, Get rid of that ant, we don't want him in there. And so what we can do is just rub that into the adhesive, and with a dry rag, just give that a wipe off. So what we've got there is 2 holes. The adhesive has gone in underneath the tile, and as that dries, it's basically going to rebond that tile. So that's how simple it is and how quick it is to repair a delaminated tile or paver using the Shalex Stickit product. Your only other option is to grab this little bag of tricks and potentially damage the tile as you take it out. But why would you do that when it's that simple to drill holes as I've shown you? All you need is a power drill. Everything else is included with the kit. Thank you.